Hey, good morning and welcome to UroNurse. I'm your host, Vic Senese. Like and subscribe. Today, a closer look at a growing concern over so-called forever chemicals found in baby formula and what new FDA testing results may mean for parents and healthcare providers across the country. Now, the Food and Drug Administration recently tested more than 300 infant formula samples for PFAS, short for per polyfluoroalkyl substances. These are man-made chemicals often called the forever chemicals because they break down so slowly in the environment that they can remain in your body for years. The FDA says the overall takeaway is reassuring. Most infant formulas tested either showed no detectable PFASs or contained only very low levels. But scientists say the findings also show there is still room for improvement, especially when it comes to protecting infants, one of the most vulnerable populations. So according to the FDA, 5 different PFAS chemicals were detected during testing. The most commonly detected chemical was PFOS, which appeared in roughly half of all formula samples tested. The agency says that 95% of those samples, PFOS levels were below 2 per 9 parts per trillion. Now, if you're wondering what part per trillion actually means, you're not alone. Scientists say interpreting PFAS levels can be complicated because not all PFAS chemicals behave in the same way in the body. Some are considered far more toxic than others. Hey, between you and I want 0 PFASs in my stuff. Now, it's been around for a long time, for decades, in products like non-stick cookware, stain-resistant carpeting, waterproof clothing, and food packaging. Research has linked high levels of PFASs exposures to health concerns including elevated cholesterol, kidney, testicular cancer, hormone disruption, and possible effects on the immune system. For infants and children, experts are especially concerned about potential impacts on developing immune systems. One expert interviewed about the FDA findings was toxicologist Alex Bogdan from the Minnesota Department of Public Health. Bogdan said that results were encouraging because only a small number of PFASs were detected, and most levels were relatively low. However, he also said reducing PFAS in environment remains critical. According to Bogdan, many of these chemicals likely enter the formula upstream through contaminated soil, dairy products, agricultural materials used in manufacturing. The report also found differences between formula types. Soy-based powdered formulas were more likely to contain a type of PFAS known as PFBA, a shorter chain chemical considered less toxic than PFOS. A lot of numbers here, a lot of abbreviations here. Meanwhile, dairy-based formulas more commonly contain PFOS, likely because PFOS can transfer into milk. Experts stress that not all PFAS chemicals carry the same level of risk, and the amount detected in formulas were generally very small. I want 0. Still, environmental health advocates say small doesn't necessarily mean harmless when it comes to infants consuming formula multiple times a day over many months. Katie Pelch, senior scientist with the Natural Resource Defense Council, says the ultimate goal should be 0 detectable PFAS in baby formula. I agree. She also pointed out that some formula products tested completely PFAS-free, suggesting cleaner manufacturing may already be possible. Another issue raised by experts is transparency. The FDA released overall findings but did not publicly identify which specific formula brands contain detectable PFAS levels. Critics argue that parents deserve more detailed information to make informed choices. Scientists also remind parents that formula may not be the only source of PFAS exposure. Drinking water, household dust, stain-resistant products, and food packaging all contribute. Experts recommend several practical ways families can reduce exposure. Check your local drinking water reports for PFAS testing. Consider certified water filters designed to reduce PFAS. Avoid stain-resistant treatments on children's products. Regularly clean household dust and floors. Follow proper formula preparation guidelines. Researchers emphasize that parents should not panic or abruptly stop using infant formula. Formula remains a safe and essential source of nutrition for millions of babies. The larger conversation now focuses on how manufacturers, regulators and policymakers can continue reducing environmental contamination and improving product safety standards. Experts say this issue goes far beyond baby formula, touching agriculture, drinking water systems, manufacturing, and chemical regulation nationwide. As more research continues, scientists say one thing is clear: minimizing unnecessary PFAS exposure, especially in infants and children, remains an important public health goal. I'm Vic Senese, and this is UroNurse News. Hey, this Saturday on UroPatient, we're taking a closer look at a question many patients are asking but few are getting clear answers to. How does AltaViva actually treat urge incontinence? If you ever dealt with sudden urgency, frequent trips to the bathroom, or bladder leakage that seems to come from nowhere, you won't want to miss this episode. I'm going to break down how this new approach targets the nerve signals behind overactive bladder and what it could mean for patients who haven't found relief with traditional therapies. Tune in this Saturday on UroPatient.com to learn more. And tomorrow on UroNurse News, I dive into a fun, eye-opening showdown: pie versus cake. Which one is actually better for you? I know which one I like better. You might think it's about calories, but there's more hiding in every slice than you realize. I'm going to break it all down. Which dessert hits your blood sugar harder? Why portion size changes everything? The hidden fats and sugars nobody talks about. And how to enjoy your favorite treat without derailing your health goals. It's a lighthearted debate with real-world health insights you actually can use. So don't miss it tomorrow on UroNurse News.
UroNurse, where the experts meet. Online learning, practical and sweet. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Time. YouTube, Facebook, X, and LinkedIn. Online.